Tuesday night, I'm back from Philly. Raj is in the house. The Niners are moving on to the divisional round. I'm going to Seattle on Friday. Let's go. Off and running on the Krug Show Tuesday night. Raj is in the house. And the Niners are moving on to the second round of the playoffs. Woo-wee. What a weekend in Philly. What a weekend. Welcome to the Krug Show, brought to you by Pig and a Pickle. We went to Philly courtesy of Claw Daddy Arcades. Thanks to Claw Daddy Arcades for being a proud sponsor of the Krug Show. Thanks to Sleeper. We'll get to them in a bit. But Raj, what a weekend. The Niners win in Philly. Give me your breakdown, man. What'd you think?
Oh, I know. First off, before I give you anything, happy birthday, Larry. You guys got to say happy birthday to my boy, Larry Kruger. It was his birthday. He got the victory dub in Philly. Everybody say what's up to my boy, Larry Kruger. Give him a happy birthday, man.
Thank you.
21 years old.
The big 5'6". That's
crazy, man.
There you
That's
go.
Crazy. Happy birthday you're the GOAT, man. But
they said I'd never make it. They'd never make it to 50. No.
That's what I'm saying.
Anyway.
It's awesome, dude. But yeah, for sure. After that, but I got to say, hey, everybody doubted us. The Niners, man, they played so good that, that whole game, it was like, man, they were making mistakes, but they kept on holding. They stopped Saquon. We had so many people stepping up. Like, this team is resilient. You got Eric Kendricks, Garrett Wallow, Upton Stout, man. You have people just coming out of nowhere. And you know what I got to say? I know we got injuries. I know George Kittle's out, and it sucks. But this team, whoever comes up, they're so hungry. They just play for that moment because like Garrett Wallow, dude was on practice squad for Denver last month, right? And at December, called him up, hasn't started since 2022 in a game, hasn't really played much. This was an opportunity for him to say, hey, look, I belong in the league. This offseason, he's getting a contract just off this game alone. These guys are hungry. Kendrick Bourne came in a couple of months ago, and he went crazy for a few months. So, like, this team, no matter what, they just keep fighting, man. Jake Tonjes in week 1 went crazy. So this team doesn't they just fight. And I know the injuries are bad, Larry, but listen, they have guys that are fresh legs. If you really think about it, Eric Kendricks, he's fresh. Garrett Wallow, fresh. Like, these guys are not battle. They haven't been through the ringer of a whole season. Whereas the Eagles, they look dragged and gassed out and depleted. They're tired. They went through a 17, game season. And the Niners, the injuries kind of a blessing in disguise because you got guys that are hungry, fresh, ready to fucking roll, man. That game was amazing. And I know Purdy threw the interceptions, but his ability to just phase that out and keep, coming back and the ice in his veins in that final drive, and then Kyle Shanahan calling the freaking the touchdown pass from Jennings. It was just perfect story. And Robert Saleh, man, he's getting a head coaching job. If he doesn't, I'll be shocked. I mean, the amount of amazingness that he's done with this little group of people. Like, everybody's hurt, and he's put together a fantastic season with this team.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what a game, Larry. And I'm glad you were there to witness it.
Yeah. Oh, it was special, man. Great weekend. Kevin and I went to Philly. It was a lot of fun. And, of course, it was a business trip, and I predicted on KBR 23-20. I predicted on the day of the game 23-20. I said I liked the Eagles all week because the Eagles, I thought, had about an 80% chance of winning. But then the more I read about their dysfunction as a team, the more I thought, you know what? This team kind of reminds me of the 86 Bears, the year after they won the title, where there was this big hangover effect. And I felt like the Eagles had that this year. Gigantic Super Bowl hangover in a sports crazy town. It's not the craziest thing. Sports crazy towns celebrate their wins big time. And that's what they did last year. They had a great team, but their offensive line wasn't the same. Lane Johnson did not play. No. Did he not play because Sirianni thought they could beat the Niners without him? They wanted to rest him for a future game. Did they not go for the 2 seed because they'd rather have the Niners than the Packers? Or was it about really resting their guys? I don't know what their plan was, but whatever it was, it didn't work. And they fired their OC today. And now Hurts is going to have 8 offensive coordinators or something like that in his career. It's unbelievable the turnover they've had at offensive coordinator. But we're not here to talk about the Eagles. It was an incredible win for the 49ers for sure.
Yeah.
And we do want to get into a bunch of things tonight, including Robert Saleh. Where is he going? Is Ricky Pearsall going to play? Fred Warner. Today he had his practice window opened. Why don't we start right there? Fred Warner, I don't expect him to go in this game in Seattle. And I'm not sure if I expect him to go, period, at any point. But I think he wants to go. I'm like one of those people like, let's not talk about it. Let's not talk about it. Because what happens is you get these expectation. And, Brian Sabian, when he ran the Giants, used to say, hey, you know what? The cavalry's not coming. In other words, the guys in the room have to win it. So it's not a healthy situation to be like hoping somebody's going to ride in the 11th hour to save you. But that narrative is getting closer to reality because the Niners are advancing in this in these playoffs. Now, it's interesting. One of the stories of today is that Nwosu for Seattle, came out and said, hey, the road ends here. You know what I mean? When he saw he tweeted that or saw Fred's post and commented on it and was like, hey, you know what? You guys, your run is going to come to an end. And that's good. That's fine. I mean, that's what they're supposed to say. But we'll see. I mean, I don't think Warner's going to play this week, but why I'm pretty encouraged is that Wallow and Kendricks, I think the main reason the Niners have missed so many tackles the last couple of weeks is just that Bethune wasn't healthy. Winters wasn't healthy.
Mm-hmm.
They were fatigued and they were worn out and they're not healthy. So you take out guys who aren't healthy for guys that aren't as good, but they're healthy. And in Kendrick's case, he's got all the experience and they haven't missed a beat. And then you take out Brown and you put in Siegel, and you don't know how that's going to go. Siegel played his ass off. He was awesome. 7 tackles, 6 solo, making big-time plays. So those 3 guys are right in the middle of your defense. They weren't really there in Week 18. They will be there on Saturday night. And so I'm really eager to see this game. Now, the other thing that I'm really eager to see is, to me, this is, let's talk a second about Brock Purdy, because, the Seahawks have scored 26 combined points against the Niners this season. Sam Darnold has not thrown a touchdown in either of those 2 games. That's the Chase Senior stat tweet that he just put out.
Mm-hmm.
And this game, I think, I don't know if you agree with me, but I really believe that Brock Purdy is not, pretty decent, or he's all right, or, he's pretty good. I think he's a really good quarterback. And I've been saying that for a while, right? That this guy's a really good quarterback. And I think, the question comes up this weekend in the playoffs, would you rather have, a dominant defense like Seattle does, all really great on all 3 levels, or would you rather have the great young quarterback? And that, and when I say the great young quarterback, I think there's something special about Brock Purdy. He's obviously not special size-wise, but we're looking at the wrong things. We're looking at size and arm strength and that kind of thing, when the position's about timing and nerve and accuracy and balance and escapability and processing what you have here, here. And Brock Purdy he's clearly better than Sam Darnold, which makes this game really interesting. Seattle's defense, though, is awesome. Fast, and physical, dominant on all 3 levels. Shanahan talked about it today. What would you rather have in the playoffs? If Brock Purdy is the great young quarterback in the league right now, and we just don't quite know it yet because he hasn't climbed to the top of the mountain. We really should know it already because he got to the Super Bowl and stood toe-to-toe with Mahomes. He should be given a lot more respect for that than he is, but whatever. In my opinion, he's a great young quarterback. I'd rather have a great young quarterback than the dominant defense. And I love a dominant defense. But if it really comes to one or the other, give me the great young quarterback. Then the debate is Brock that? I believe he is.
course.
How do you see that? If do you believe Brock's a great young quarterback? And if not, or either way, would you rather have the dominant D or the great young QB?
Listen, I know they say defense wins championships, but every year when people say, "Oh, we got this great defense," they get to a point in the playoffs where they can't score, and then it sucks. And then you put all the pressure on your defense, and then when they make a mistake or when they can't finally stop a team, then your defense doesn't get bailed out. I want the quarterback. The way this, the game is set up nowadays with the high scoring offenses and the passing game and everything. I want the quarterback, man. Look at the greats that have won Super Bowls. You have to have great quarterback. Well, not always, but for the most part, like Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, those guys, quarterbacks have dominated the leagues over the last couple of years. That's why the MVP is a quarterback award, right? That's your guy, your leader. I want a guy that's going to be able to lead me. Perfect example the other day, right? Philadelphia, like I said, Brock Purdy, he threw picks, whatever, but he was not wavered. He bounced he bounced back, and in the clutch moments of the game, you need a quarterback that's going to be able to drive down the field and beat that good defense. Because in these playoffs, it's down to the wire. These playoffs this last weekend were crazy. So many edge of your seat thrillers, and the quarterbacks that were able to get it done showed that they can take their team to the next level. And that was Brock Purdy, Caleb Williams. Like those guys were good, man, and they helped their team get to the next level. I want the quarterback. And look, Darnold has been great in the regular season, but he's never won a playoff game. He's kind of, the guy they always say he sees ghosts when it's clutch time. So I don't know, man. And the Niners have played him pretty good. The last time we played the Seattle Seahawks Week 18, they ran on the Niners. And, I don't think that's going to be the case this time. They study the film. They know what to do. We get 4 extra quarters against them. And I think that this time it's going to be a different story. And last time, Trent Williams didn't play against the Seattle Seahawks. And I think that's a big thing. And you're going to give your elite quarterback a couple more seconds in the pocket, maybe another second or two. And that's big. And, Brock Purdy, his ability to extend with his legs, that's huge. And I feel like last time, because they didn't have Trent, he wasn't able to use those legs. Like, I remember we talked about that afterwards. Like, I didn't see Brock running or extending a lot. And I think this time he's going to be able to do that because he's going to have Trent on his blind side. So that is a big difference. I know Seattle's defense is good, but if you really think about it, look, the Niners, they held Seattle to 13 points. Like, I know the Niners only scored 3, but you get that YGM fumble. You don't get the CMC drop to an interception. It's a whole different game, Larry. I think it's going to be a different story. Niners can – look, I'm not even nervous about this game. I think the Niners are winning because, look, everybody's like, oh, they got to go into Seattle, hostile environment. You just went into Philadelphia. Their fans are brutal. They're nasty. That is the most hostile environment you could probably go into, and you beat them. You silence them. Now you're going to go into Seattle where Brock Purdy has never lost a game. You think that crowd is going to get this team wavered up? No, nothing's going to waver this team. You can talk all the trash. It's so stupid that they're talking all this smack before the game because that never bodes well for a team. You talk all the smack after a game, like Lenore after the game. He was like, oh, yeah, bye-bye, beat the traffic, all that stuff he said. Don't talk trash before the game because Kendrick Bourne today by Matt Lively was asked, he said, hey, what about all the smack talk on in the social media? He says Leonard Hankerson, the wide receiver coach, brought it up to him. So they know the people are talking trash. The Eagles are talking trash. Don't give this team any fuel to their fire. They got nothing to lose, and now they're going to be more motivated. Now they got Fred Warner coming back, who he's definitely coming back for an NFC Championship game. Look, you think he's working 6 hours a day, Larry, to not come back? He's come back. Even if he doesn't.
Well, even if he doesn't come back, I mean, he's motivating his team.
He's going to suit up. Even if he doesn't play, the fact that he's there, him walking out the tunnel, running out the tunnel, it's going to motivate these guys so much. Do you understand how hard he's working? This team sees how hard he's working. They're like, oh, my God, if we win, we're going to let Fred Warner come back and play. Again, he doesn't have to play a snap, but that motivation, that tenacity, that work ethic, for them to know that he's standing with them all season. He's been on the field with them. He's been on all the home games ever since he's got injured. He came in on a knee scooter, man. Like, they know how much he's dedicated himself to this team. They're going to fight for him, Larry.
And again, he wants it. I mean, he badly wants it.
Yeah. I'm taking Brock Purdy 10 days out of 10 times out of 10 against the Seattle defense. Look, he's played him pretty good overall in his career.
I'll say this too. I mean, to add kind of to what you're saying, I kind of think in the first round of the playoffs, it's usually the better teams win. But if you have a dominant trait, like a great defense or whatever, you can win. But when it gets time to real nut cutting time, unless it's an all-time defense, I'll take the better quarterback. And like this weekend, I like all the better quarterbacks. I really do. I like the Bills with Josh Allen in Denver. I like the Niners with Purdy over Darnold. I like the Patriots with Drake May over Stroud, and I like the Rams at Soldier against the Bears with Stafford. I'm rooting for the Bears, and the Bears are the kind of the magic carpet ride. So I could definitely see the Bears being the team that where the better quarterback doesn't necessarily win. But a lot of people think that Caleb Williams is super special. I just had my 15-year-old tell me that he thinks Caleb Williams is great. And so I was going to ask you, how would you rank the final 8 quarterbacks in this that are left in this thing? And it's really, it's not like, I don't want you to give me career, because like if let's say Rodgers happened to win, you might want to put him high up there because he's Rodgers.
Yeah.
But you know what? Screw career. I'm just talking about right now, today, the way they're playing right now. How would you rank the 8 quarterbacks?
I mean, it's not based on career. I mean, everybody's saying Drake May is the MVP, right? He's been playing unbelievable this year. I guess
he's a rookie.
He's first time in the playoffs. So what you're saying is based on right now. So you got to put Drake May as number 1, because he's supposed to be the MVP this year. So I mean, I would probably say Josh Allen, right? Like, again, not going on career, not going on any of that stuff. Right now, who's playing the best? Drake May's playing fantastic football, man. He's clutching up. I could go Drake May. I'm gonna go. See, because of what you just said, you threw my whole list off, man. I would change it up. I guess Matt Stafford is 2 because he's number 2 in MVP. I'll go Brock Purdy. He's been playing lights out over the last month, man. I know he had the stinker against Seattle, but again, that was defensive struggle. Sam Darnold didn't play great in that game. I go Brock Purdy 3. I go Sam Darnold 4. No, you know what? Sorry. No, I'll take Caleb Williams 4. He's played great down the stretch of games. He's been able to win games. I mean, oh God, the comebacks he's had against the Packers. Nobody thought they were going to come back.
I gotta write this down. Yeah. We get this again. So you're going Drake May 1.
Yeah.
You're going Josh Allen 2.
No, I'm gonna go Matt Stafford 2 because those are the 1, 2 in the MVP. But
I got you.
I think he's going down this week. I think he's going down against Chicago. He's got a sprain something. He's done. I don't know. I think
is done? Stafford?
I think the Rams are going to get upset this weekend.
I do. Some people like Caleb. Some people think Caleb's great. As I said, my 15-year-old loves
great, man.
Drake May, Stafford, then Josh Allen.
No. Then Brock Purdy, man. He's playing lights out. You talk about right now. Who's playing
right now?
Purdy is playing absolute lights out football. Larry. 3.
Then who?
And I'm going to go Caleb Williams because he's played just as good. Do you remember that game against the Niners? I mean, Caleb was dealing, man. And he's had some
I just watched him in the fourth quarter just go off against Green Bay.
Yeah.
Okay, so May 1, Stafford 2, Purdy 3, Caleb 4.
And then Josh Allen, although you could probably make a case that you flip him with Stafford because Stafford hasn't really played good, but again, he's the MVP. Like, I can't not pick Stafford as 2 because he's supposed to be your rules were weird, so you're throwing me off. I'm gonna go.
Well, I mean, what? Because I said who's playing the best right now?
Yeah, right now.
Well, because I mean,
Josh hasn't played that great until the last playoff game. He played okay, but he almost got his leg snapped. He almost got his leg snapped against the Jaguars.
Right, but I mean, I thought he played very well in that game.
He did. He played good.
Good. He's a powerhouse guy. I mean, he's a difference maker, man. I mean, he gets 4 yards. How about that quarterback sneak touchdown?
Yeah, that was nice.
I mean, come on. He's a powerhouse. But whatever. So you got Allen 5. Who's 6?
Who we got left? I guess Darnold. I'll take Darnold. And then I guess Bo Nix and then CJ Stroud.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now it's interesting too. There were people who were like, no way they would put Purdy behind CJ Stroud. And after watching this weekend, there's no way that you would put Purdy ever behind CJ Stroud.
CJ was terrible this weekend. He would look like he was drunk.
Now, granted, Houston is great.
Defense.
I mean, Houston's defensively is great, but I mean, Pittsburgh's got a good defense, but he just looked confused. And the way he was losing the ball, he just looked like he was in a fog. Like he was almost going to like single-handedly lose the game for them. It was weird. So, okay, I like your list.
See, hold up. Everybody's saying it's a horrible list. We're not talking about career or it's right now, man. Look at who they're
right now. Raj is going the Drake May. Here's the argument.
Drake May's the MVP of the league, bro.
Yeah. But he is a rookie, or he is not a rookie. I keep saying that. He's a first-year playoff quarterback. So
Which is told me who is playing good right now. And if it was based on career, I wouldn't put him at that high.
He's definitely playing well. I mean, he's definitely playing well. Okay. I would say right now, based on my list, I would go as far as who's the best quarterbacks. I would probably still go, Josh Allen. Okay.
Okay.
And I like what I watched him this weekend. I like what I saw. Then I would probably go Purdy.
Okay.
Then I would probably go May. Then I would go with Stafford.
Okay.
Those are the teams that I think are probably going to win this weekend. Okay. And then as far as 5 through 8, it's so difficult. I would say 5. I guess I have down as no, I can't go there. I guess I would go with Caleb at 5. Just because he is equal parts the best and a disaster all in the same game. He's a low completion percentage guy, but then he makes some incredible plays off schedule and that are really, really great and that show that he has some high-end ability. And I think the future he's going to smooth out and be very good. Though I didn't like him coming out in the draft, and I still like Daniels more. And I'd rather have May and Daniels over Caleb for sure. But Caleb, I'll put 5. Then I would say Knicks.
Yeah.
But then I would go Darnold 7.
Wow.
Darnold, and then I would put Stroud at 8.
Yeah.
So you're talking about, so I've got a big disparity there. I have Purdy 2 and Darnold 7. You have Purdy 3 and Darnold 6. So, your disparity is a little bit, they're closer in your mind than to me. I think Purdy's way better than Darnold.
No, I don't. I think he's way better than him. But Darnold, based on how he's played over the last month, December to January, played pretty good. Beside that Niner game, I think he had a good month. Him and JSN were against that Rams game. You remember that Rams game, dude? Darnold was throwing bombs. That's the thing. People are like, "Oh, your list is terrible." Look at the last month of football, man. Drake May was locked in. I know Stafford played bad against Carolina, but for the most part, Matt Stafford played good. He didn't have Devontae Adams for a little bit, and definitely throws a wrench in there. But like Stafford's still one of the better quarterbacks in this league. Josh Allen, good, but I don't know.
One more on the quarterback. Brock Purdy now has as many playoff wins as Jared Goff, Joe Burrow, Phillip Rivers, and Randall Cunningham, and more playoff wins than Lamar Jackson, Cam Newton, Joe Namath, and Matt Ryan.
That's crazy.
Which of those? I mean, which of those do you go, wow?
The fact that he has more than Joe Namath, because back then they were in the playoffs like all the time, right? Like that was like they were a staple, and then Matt Ryan, when he was in Atlanta, they were in the playoffs all the time. I feel like that's crazy, man.
I mean, to me, Lamar and Burrow. I mean, the fact that Lamar has been on the Ravens. I mean, it's not like he's on a bad organization. He's on a really strong organization with a lot of great players.
He's not a good playoff quarterback. He's proven it time and time again.
Yeah.
But then the other one, Burrow, it's not surprising because he's been hurt or he's on the Bengals. Bengals are not good. Especially when they don't have him. But he's been banged up a lot. But to me, Joe Namath, that man, I thought he was in the playoffs. There was like 5 football teams back when he played, Larry, and he was always in the playoffs. The fact that he has more wins than Joe Namath is crazy.
Let's do one more topic before we make our sleeper lineup. ESPN's got a great story out, breakdown, if you like this sort of thing, on Roberts, on all the head coaches. Who's going where. Mike Tomlin, how about that today? Mike Tomlin steps down. Now he probably stepped down because he was going to be fired. That'd be my guess. He says he's not going to coach maybe next year. But now there are 9 jobs available in the NFL. I mean, suddenly it's like, whoa, there's a bunch of jobs available. And Robert Saleh, after that high profile, 41 million people watched Niners Eagles. So a lot of people saw, I'm sure a lot of NFL people saw Robert Saleh and his defense slow down an offense that had a lot of good weapons, including Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
So Robert Saleh today is probably a kingmaker and could probably have a lot of different jobs. There's talk that Arizona badly wants him. Okay. And why? Because Arizona, is constantly copying the Niners. They're constantly trying to find players off the Niners. Whoever the Niners cut at the end of camp always winds up in Arizona. So I definitely could see him in Arizona. Baltimore has Robert Saleh, I believe, on their list.
Yeah.
And that obviously would be a great decision to go there. The Raiders, according to some, have Robert Saleh on their list. And a lot of people feel like, it's funny. This article on ESPN.com says the prediction for the next coach is Robert Saleh. But I don't think if I was Robert Saleh, I would take that job. Who else? Robert Saleh's up for the Miami job. I could see that seems like a market that would really embrace Robert Saleh. I think he could do really well in Miami. And then the New York Giants, I don't know if Robert Saleh is going to be there, but let's just say this: if the Niners pull the upset and somehow win the next couple games, go to the Super Bowl, I could see the New York Giants saying, hey, we want Robert Saleh. ESPN's predicting Jeff Hafley, the Packers DC, will be the coach in New York. But that's a big job. He already coached the Jets, and he can handle the media. That was not his issue. His issue was quarterback. So that one makes sense. And then you've got, you get the Steelers job that's open. I think a lot of people think that's going to Jesse Minter from the Chargers. And then you got Tennessee's job, which is available. And Robert Saleh is definitely on their list. I mean, there's no doubt that they want Robert Saleh. So I don't know. I mean, if you're Robert Saleh, if all these teams came calling, give me your top 3.
Yeah, that's a good list, man. There's so many good teams,
There's a lot of good options.
Good options, right? I hope he doesn't go to Arizona, man. Play us in the division. I would hate to see him twice a year. And that would just not be good. He's great. Last time, he went to New York. I know that's a good team there, and Giants obviously went to the Jets. I don't know if he wants to go back to New York, but I have them as like number 3 on my list. That defense, they got some damn good players on defense. And, if they can stay healthy on offense and he gets a really good OC, I think they have something there. They got a triple threat on offense when they're all healthy. Jackson Dart, Neighbors, and Scatterbo, like, holy smokes. And then the players on defense, you got Brian Burns, like, oh, man. I think he could coach up that team and win. But New York, does he want to go back to New York? I don't know.
I'm not even sure if I like Jackson Dart, though. I mean, he makes some plays, but I mean,
he's reckless the way he plays.
He's reckless.
And, they told him,
get hurt.
Telling him to slide, don't play as reckless. And he said, that's the only way I know how to play. He's going to be out of the league if he keeps playing that way. But it's a good team, man. Him and Neighbors and Scatterbo, I feel like they have potential to be a pretty good trio. But they're number 3 on my list. The number 2, I mean, it's got to be the Ravens, man. Holy crap. If you have Lamar, you have that defense. AFC North's a pretty easy division historically. I mean, now Philly, or Pittsburgh, they just lost Mike Tomlin. That's crazy. So, I mean, that's going to be a big replacement there. I won't say AFC North's easy, but it's like, you got the Browns in there and then the Bengals. You don't know what they're going to do if Joe Burrow is hurt or whatnot. And it's always one of those things. It's like a black and blue division. Robert Saleh likes defense, and he's a black and blue type coach, right? He's going to bruise you, bloody your lip. I think that would fit his style. And you got Lamar, so you don't have to worry about quarterback. That's the one thing, that had an issue with the Jets, was figuring out that quarterback situation. So I think Lamar, a lot of people probably have him number 1. I got Atlanta as the top spot, man. They got some interesting weapons on that team. You got Bijan. You got a great young, up and coming team. And I know they don't have a quarterback, but that is the division. that is the division you can win in your first year. Like you go in there, and Atlanta was building towards the end of the year, man. They had an 8-9 record, the same record as the division winners. I feel like they just need a little fine tuning, a little bit harder on defense. I think Robert Saleh would be good in Atlanta, man. That's a good. I think that's the best place for him to go. It's easy division.
It's so funny that you said that because I totally agree. I mean, it's never good on these streams when we agree too much. But look at the defense they have there: James Pierce, Jalen Walker, Xavier Watts, Billy Bowman. I mean, they got some young, talented. Luke Aroraro. They've got guys there. They've got talent that they're gathering on the defensive side of the ball. There's some really good players there. So I don't know. If I was and offensively, I think Seattle's pretty close. I mean, Atlanta's pretty close to ready to go. I mean, Drake London, pretty decent offensive line. Though I do think Kyle Pitts is going to leave in free agency.
That would be brutal. I don't think they bring him back. Now the thing is, check this: if he goes to Atlanta, obviously quarterback's the issue, and that was his problem in the Jets. And I just said, if he went to the Ravens, great quarterback. Robert Saleh could trade for Mac Jones, and he'd have a quarterback now that he'd be comfortable with. He knows. I feel like maybe he can, use his San Francisco ties. Ask Kyle, throw me a bone, man. Let me get Mac Jones. And I think he would try to get Kubiak from Kyle and make him his OC. Or you got Mike McDaniel floating out there. Maybe you get Saleh and Mike McDaniel reunion, and get Mac Jones. I really feel like Mac Jones is a guy that he would target if he needed a quarterback. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, that sounds good for the Falcons, but what are the Niners getting out of it?
Hey, at the end of the day, we're talking about Robert Saleh.
Robert Saleh, he takes the OC, you trade him a quarterback. I mean, well, why not just give him Brock Purdy, man?
Hey, man, these are the breaks.
We're not even going to compete. Just go. Listen, just take us.
If the Niners win a Super Bowl, Robert Saleh 100% is leaving. He might have to take Mac Jones, but he's going to have to give us a really handsome reward for Mac Jones. Yeah, look, no, I know we don't want to lose Mac Jones. I know we don't want to lose him, but it's a business. This offseason, there's going to be a lot of decisions that people aren't going to like, uncomfortable decisions, and it happens every single year.
No doubt. It's hard, and you can't keep everybody. And also, I think the Niners are going to want to do right by Mac Jones because I think they're going to get more reclamation project quarterbacks who want to play for them based on Darnold, based on Jones. I think they'll move Jones, but I think they're going to get a pretty penny. I think they're going to get a second-round pick. I really do. Let's tell everybody that we are brought to you by Sleeper. 49er football season is presented by Sleeper, the fastest-growing fantasy platform in the world. It's a one-stop shop. You get blazing fast news, real-time stats, group chat, season-long leagues, and, of course, Sleeper picks for daily fantasy. Use promo code Larry. Sleeper will match your first deposit up to $100. Links in the description. Terms and conditions do apply. Thanks to Sleeper for being a proud sponsor of the Krug Show. Tommy says, Larry, how was traveling back from Philly? Obviously, you have all your bags, right? That's interesting. Why would somebody say that to me? Actually, somebody picked off one of my bags.
What?
Yes, in the airport.
What?
So now I'm getting this. That's interesting.
That's interesting. Tommy,
do you know where my bag is?
Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
I don't know about that. Jeez. All right. Let's do our sleeper lineup. Here we go. Darnold, Purdy, Jennings, CMC. What direction do you want to go? Who do you want to choose, Raj?
Let's go Purdy. Purdog.
All right. Yeah. What do you like? 17.5 rush yards.
17.5 rush yards. He's going. Like I said, Trent Williams is back. My boy about to run. He about to use those wheels. I think that's over.
This defense is so fast, though, on the second level.
I know. You don't think he's going to get one big run?
Yeah, well, it might take 3 or 4. That's a high number. God, that's a
17?
high number.
Okay, we'll change it. What do you want?
No, I like it. I like it. I've liked the angle on this because here's the bottom line. He's going to have to run. That's the bottom line. He's going to have to run. So I would say 18 rush yards is good. So let's go more there.
Okay.
I like that. What else do you like?
We got Jake Tonjes.
Yeah, let's see what Tonjes has got.
That guy's a dog, man.
Tonjes is going to make some catches for sure.
For sure.
For sure. Wow. 5 catches for Tonjes is the over.
Mm.
An anytime touchdown, 34.5 receiving yards. I like the 5 receptions. I think that makes sense.
You like 5 receptions? I was going to go with the yards, but
I think he's more of a move the chains kind of a guy.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's go more on 4.5.
I like it. Okay.
Let's see Darnold. I want an anytime pick.
Anytime pick. Oh, it's happening, baby.
It's coming.
Who's getting the pick on him? Marquise the Beagle Siegel. How about that guy? How about Marquise Siegel, man?
I'll say Upton Stout.
Okay. Oh man, that guy's so good, dude. Oh my God, he's so good, Larry.
Give us the anytime pick for Darnold for sure. We definitely want that.
And the PBU on Devonta Smith. Oh my God, this guy's gonna be. He's gonna be so good.
So good. He's so good,
dude.
Upton Stout
plays with so much heart, man. The guy's a fantastic player.
Guy's awesome. One of the best young players they've drafted in years.
Absolutely.
JSN. Let's go JSN. JSN's gonna get the ball. I would say he's a lock for 7 receptions.
You think so? Oh, it ain't going to be on Diamond or Lenore.
7 receptions for JSN. In some ways, that's what's scary. The most scary thing about Seattle is that Darnold can rip that 25-yard out pattern to the sideline to JSN, and he can run that with such precision. And Darnold's got such good arm strength. He sticks it in there,
JSN's a dog, man.
Hard to defend.
He might go off on us. Is there CMC anytime touchdown? He's always good for a touchdown.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go CMC touchdown for sure.
Anytime.
Let's add one more. One more here. Let's add CMC to the mix, and we'll go anytime touchdown on CMC, and that should be our lineup right there.
Man, we got to cherish CMC. Look, this guy every week, he just puts. It's like. The thing is, I think we take him for granted, Larry. Like, okay, he comes in, he works out, puts in all the, the hard work, and he doesn't complain. He's a superstar. He doesn't have any drama. He's always talking great about his teammates. The guy's amazing. And then he goes out there, whatever you need, 30 carries, 10 catches. He doesn't care. He just puts the team on his back. And
the catch from JJ was amazing.
Man, it's unbelievable.
Okay, so we're going to stay with this. Purdy less than 17 has to have 17 rush yards, or has to have more than 17 rush yards. That does 18. Tonjes has to have 5 catches. Darnold has to have 1 pick, and JSN has to have 7 receptions. I bank this one. I mean, take this to the bank.
Okay. Right. $10 for $120. That's pretty good.
10 to win 120. Thank you, Sleeper. We love Sleeper. Always a big fan of Sleeper. Check them out. Links in the description. Thanks to Sleeper for being a proud sponsor of the Krug Show. Once again, use promo code Larry. Sleeper will match your first deposit up to $100. Links in the description. Terms and conditions do apply. Look at that. What does that say? Look at that. You got every T-shirt. What's the bottom say?
It says, obviously F Seattle. And it says, sincerely, Niner Gang.
That is awesome. I want to share the screen on this one. I thought this was one of my favorite sound bites today. This is Alex Smith stopping by. Oops, wrong button. What did I do? Here we go. Hold on, everybody. Back it up. Here we go. There it is. Yeah, here we go. All right, here it is. He's on with Kay Adams, and he's talking Brock Purdy. This is really good. Alex Smith is such a smart guy. She asks him about Brock Purdy. Listen to what he says here.
I love watching you on television, and I like that you always get things kind of right. Like the Niners.
Stop.
Alex, the Niners, for instance, you were like the lone wolf there saying, no, I like Purdy. And he's in my top 5 quarterbacks. If you want to say Homer or whatever, what do you see about him that others don't? What is like maybe the one thing that makes you view him higher than others?
I think the hardest thing to do in the NFL is drop back and throw the football, right? Like statistically, even if you just look at it from a quarterback perspective, the drop back game is the hardest thing to do. And I think it's maybe one of the best strengths of Brock Purdy, right? When you watch the Niners, they still have some run game, but predominantly they are a drop back football team. And it's really a credit, I think, to Kyle and Brock, right, that they've been able to do this. And again, I think the other thing that jumps out with Brock is he's an above average athlete, right? Like I think even in the world of quarterbacks, NFL quarterbacks, he doesn't get enough credit. There's like the one stat I always love is like his 10-yard 40 split was better than Christian McCaffrey's, right? Like this guy can really run around and make some plays with his legs. And those two things, you kind of combine them, and obviously being a really smart player as well and competitive, I think they're going to be there a long time. And I even think the game last week against the Eagles, this is another, I think, superpower of Brock's.
Okay.
He's so mature. And I was not like this as a player, especially as a young player, right? Like to make a couple mistakes early, these interceptions, like it just doesn't phase Brock. Like he doesn't carry it with him to the next play. Like you see the drive in the fourth quarter for the game on the line.
No, he has like 4 game-winning drives. He's tied with Stafford and Russell Wilson. Look at this.
It's flawless. And so he has this innate ability. Again, when you're with him, and I'm lucky enough to know him pretty well. Obviously, I live here in the Bay Area, get to go down there a bunch to practice. Like you forget how young he is when you're around him. He's so mature. He has such a good head on his shoulders. And again, he has like great perspective, right? And even this a couple plays don't go your way, it doesn't affect him like most other players, right? Naturally does. He doesn't take it with him to the next play.
I mean, the ability of Purdy to kind of compartmentalize his failure and to just keep ripping it, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Usually you throw a pick, it's the disappointment. It starts to affect you. And he's had games where he's thrown multiple picks. He had a terrible game on Christmas against the Ravens. We all were there and saw it. But you know what? He's not tentative.
Yeah.
He stands tall in the pocket. He's got a ton of nerve, and he stands there and he plays his game.
Yeah.
And I just feel like, he's lost Kittle, and they're down guys on defense, but I don't know how he's going to get it done. And I know Seattle's got a ton of speed. It's going to take lots of great play calls from Shanahan. But, Raj, I kind of think that Seattle is the kind of team that the Niners can handle. Why? Because they play games for the most part that are going to be low-scoring games. So, I think the Niners defense can do enough outside of, JSN. They're going to have to figure out a way to slow down JSN. But I don't think it's going to be like the last game as far as K9 and Charbonnet. I don't believe those guys are going to run up and down the field on this 49er defense.
I don't either.
So I think it's the kind of game. I don't think it's going to be the 49ers are not going to put 30 on the board. I don't think. I think it's going to be more like, 49ers 24 24-17. Something like that.
I agree. And I agree. Last time again, they cooked us because they ran on us. But you made a good point last time. Winters and Bethune, all the linebackers they had, they're playing through injuries. And like I said earlier, when you have fresh legs, guys that are hurt, they may not be better, like name-wise, Again, Garrett Wallow, nobody really knows who he is, but he's coming in, he's hungry, fresh legs, and that's good. When you have people that have groin injuries and hamstring issues, and they're trying to run and track down guys like Charbonnet, you're not going to be able to do it. You're going to miss tackles, and that's what the big thing was. The Niners have not missed tackles. Eric Kendricks has been, very, solid in terms of tackling. And Brock, he throws a pick, and Alex Smith he said exactly what I said earlier, is when he throws interceptions, when he makes mistakes, he just doesn't even let it phase him. Because most quarterbacks, when you see that they have mistakes, it's like they get rattled, man, and they just can't bounce back from it. And that's why that game-winning drive for Brock was so impressive for me, because he had just thrown 2 interceptions that game, and you're like, God, dog, man, okay. And it doesn't matter. He led them down the field. He has all the stats this week of game-winning drives. He has, all these game-winning drives. It's crazy. He's only been in the league for a few years, and he's just a clutch machine, man. They call Caleb the Iceman. I think I think Brock Purdy's the Iceman, man. When it comes down to the clutch, I feel very confident that Brock Purdy's going to lead this team down the field. And honestly, man, again, Niners are playing with house money. They're going to look at the film, and you best believe that Robert Saleh and Kyle Shanahan, if they get an extra chance, which they have, they're going to make it count this weekend.
One guy I think we got to shout out before we get to this next topic is John Lynch. And here he is on the field. He was fired up on the field before the game.
Before and after.
And this is before the game. Here he is on the field and it was cold.
Yeah.
He's dapping up his guys.
He was ready, man. He was ready. He had that beanie. He was ready.
Looks like he could go out there and hit somebody himself.
He probably could. Now,
Lynch made the pickups. He picked up Kendricks. He picked up Wallow. This draft class, Upton Stout. Now we're seeing Siegel. Two guys that are really key for the 49ers this week are Upton Stout and Marquise Siegel. He drafted both those guys outside of the first round. This was a good offseason for the 49ers in a lot of ways. And, let's credit Lynch because, they needed Wallow. They needed Kendricks. They needed Siegel to step up. And these are all first-year players that he got on this roster. And that when, Keon White, Cleve Farrell, even how about this? DeMarcus Robinson. I mean, the 49ers they don't have Kittle. They didn't have Ayuk. And yet, you know what? They're still pretty good at wide receiver because of DeMarcus Robinson.
DeMarcus Robinson, really legacy game. What a performance. What a performance by him. And, Keon White, I was waiting for you to mention that guy. Keon White guy. That sack in that fourth quarter on that drive, that was the game right there. That really put this team in position to win. And he's been quiet. Like he doesn't say much. He doesn't talk a lot. He's just a quiet assassin. He goes about his business. And I think Jeff Deeney from PFF said that he's got the most pressures on the Niners defensive line since he's joined the team. Like that's pretty impressive. And he's been playing through groin injuries, hamstring injuries. He's been a pretty good player. We got him for next year too. So I'm really happy about Keon White. The Niners fans, and myself included, we were like, get a player at the trade deadline. I kind of did. That was the guy. It was just a week before the deadline. So very happy for him. And John Lynch gets a lot of crap, but he's really worked hard to make this team what it is. But yeah, we won't talk about his draft picks because that's where everybody hates on him for. But man, they've missed a lot of picks, right? But he tries so hard to put, he's got a CMC. I know Hargrave didn't hit, but I mean, he went out and did that. Like he's tried so hard to put great players on this team. Sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they turn out to be Devondre Campbell, but John Lynch is trying.
He wants it. I'll say that. He sets a great tone. One more soundbite. This is Jaron Reed, and I don't think Jaron Reed likes the Niners.
No.
Jaron Reed looks kind of like a bad A. Here he is. Here's Jaron Reed.
Like Harriet Tubman.
Time where you played the same team back to back.
Yeah, I think 2020 we did, and we played the Rams, won the NFC, and played them like in the wild card, like the week after. Yeah, so that was the last time I probably can recall.
What's kind of unique about that in terms of how you prep for a situation like that?
For one, we get a team that we don't like. Me personally, don't like nothing about them, but just get a chance to, go at them again. We don't do too much talking. We let our past talk, but we know what's at stake. They know what's at stake. It's about getting out there between them lines and, hitting it head on, man on man, mano a mano.
Can you remember a time where you played the same?
There you go, little Jared Reed. I mean, that guy's arms are bigger than my legs.
Yeah,
he's a big boy. Their defense it's a really good defense. I mean, and I asked Shanahan about it today. I'm like, what makes it so good? And he's like, well, first of all, it's year 2 of the scheme. And then second of all, he's like, they've really got the right players that fit their scheme. And if you look at their depth chart, I mean, they've done a nice job of putting together, this defense. First, let's talk about the defensive line. And I could probably, for those who don't have their depth chart, this is pretty interesting. This is Seattle's depth chart. Look at this defensive line. Okay, they brought in DeMarcus Lawrence from Dallas. and he's having a bounce back year.
Yeah.
They drafted Byron Murphy in the first round. He's huge and fast. They traded, I believe, for Leonard Williams a couple of years ago at the trade deadline. And, he's a great player. He just really is. And then the outside linebacker spot, it looks like they're going with Nwosu, but they also play Mafe and Derek Hall, and they play them all.
They got dogs.
What's that?
They got some dogs, yeah.
They got guys. They definitely get guys up front. And then they have Jared Reed, who's strong as a house.
Yeah.
He's like their third tackle. So that's a really good line. And it's well conceived. Why? Because you've got big bodies inside who can rush the passer. And then you also have speed off the edge that kind of spreads the offensive line wide. So they really challenge you up front. Then the second level, they have so much speed. This Drake Thomas is small. He's not a big guy. We're talking about 5'11", 220 pounds, but he's fast. He's really fast. And then they've got Eman Wari, who's really cooking.
Oh, yeah, Eman Wari.
Ernest Jones plays fast. So they have a lot of speed on that second level. And then they got big-time guys on the back end. Job's been good for them. Julian Love's a star. Devin Witherspoon was a first-round pick. So they got length on the corner. They've got speed at linebacker. They've got size and speed off the edge. They've got, powerhouse guys interior guys that can rush. I mean, they got a lot. And then he's got a blitz package that's pretty good. His timing on when to blitz is really, really good. So, this defense was wicked. I thought it was the best defense in football until I watched Houston last night.
Oh, my God. Houston's defense is insane, dude.
Yeah. I mean, Houston's defense.
Defense.
D'Amico said that was the greatest defensive effort he'd ever seen.
They basically retired Aaron Rodgers. If I'm Aaron Rodgers and I play that, I'm like, I'm not coming back after playing defense like that. Oh, my God. That defense was insane. 2 pick sixes, dude, in a playoff game. That's insane. That defense was relentless. If C.J. Stroud could settle in and not play like he did the other night or last night, they could go all the way, man. That team is sick. But the only thing is, Larry, they've won, 10 in a row, something like that? If they win Super, they'd have to win 13 in a row. I don't think any team can win 13 in a row these days. That's a lot. That's a lot of pressure. But that defense,
they're studly on D. I mean, they're really good, and they show up. When you've won that many in a row, you show up expecting to win. It's powerful.
For sure.
Here are the Super Bowl odds from BetGM. Seahawks plus 300 favored. Then the Rams plus 320. Then the Bills plus 550. Then the Pats plus 600. Broncos plus 750. Texans plus 850. Bears plus 1,400. I'll say this. Niners plus 2,000.
Go to drop some money on them. Oh, God.
Jesus. I mean, I'll say this. I think the Niners, the Texans are great bets.
Niners are a great bet. Texans are a good bet too. But
yes.
Again, I just would worry that you get to that Super Bowl game. Not Stroud. It's just the pressure of winning that many games in a row will get to you. I don't care how good. Again, remember the Patriots, right? They had the perfect season and they get to the Super Bowl and they clunker because winning all those games, the odds catch up to you. Like, it's just probability and statistic. It's going to catch up at some point. You cannot win every single game. To win that many games, man, it's just the odds catch up to you. Something is going to go and it's just weird to win that many games. So Houston's good, but I don't know, man. I think at some point it's going to catch up with them, but it is a good bet. The Niners plus 2,000. If they beat Seattle with Fred Warner coming back, that's you got house money, man, because there's no way they lose with Fred Warner. And if the Niners make it to Levi Stadium in the Super Bowl, that's it. You're winning. You ain't losing. You're muted.
If you look at the Niners stats from the Eagle game, they were much better in the second half against the run. They were much better when C.J. West was on the field against the run. And they were best when C.J. West and Alfred Collins were on the field together against the run. So, I don't know. I mean, I know the Niners just played Seattle. It was Seattle's last game. But it seems to me that the Niners look a little different right now. And I don't know. I mean, Kasarik, I love what I'm seeing from Kasarik's D-line as far as he's maximizing everything they got. I love what I'm seeing from the Niners on all three levels of their defense. They look well coached. Upton Stout is playing well. Bernardo Green is playing with confidence.
Oh man.
I hope they get a crew that lets them play because I think they need to be able to be physical with JSN.
Yeah.
But Raj, the Niners, I think if you look at their defense on Saturday night is going to be better than the numbers.
They are. These young players are finally figuring it out. They're developed. That's the thing. You got to remember, we had a lot of young players in this team. And Saleh said, it's going to be a roller coaster, buckle your seatbelts. And it takes some time to hit that stride. Now, CJ West has been regularly getting a lot of snaps, and he's played good. He's been good in the run game. Alfred Collins, Marquise Siegel, man, this guy lost his starting job. He could have cried. He could have whined. He could have let it, get to him. He knew there's going to be an opportunity because the Niners always get hurt. Jair Brown goes down. Boom, here comes Siegel. He won his job back. I guarantee you he's not being left out of the lineup, man, after that performance. The guy was wrapping up tackles left and right, big plays. Bernardo Green, man, I hope he can stay healthy because he is very good when he's healthy. He had Devonta Smith in prison. The guy is handsy, so you're right. They have to make sure they get the right ref crew, but God, man, this defense is coming along at the right time. Again, you have players that are that maybe you don't know, but they're so hungry, they're scrappy, and that is because of Robert Saleh, man. This defense, again, man, so many players are just stepping up, and these young players are starting to figure it out because they're kind of like a 1-year vet now at this point. Okay, you had your rookie season. Now they know how the game is. It's slowing down for them. I wish we had Michael Williams, man. I think he would, at this point in the season, would have been an absolute freaking dog, man. I really wish we would have had Michael. He was so good at edge setting. I think that's a big loss to this team, but I'm excited for him.
No doubt. Because, I mean, he played a lot of snaps, too.
He did.
And he's so physical. It'd be really nice to have that player. You think about the players that they've lost this year. They didn't get anything out of Brandon Ayuk at all. Now Mikel Williams is out for the year. They don't have Kittle. They don't have Ben Barch. Kyle told us today that Nick Martin is still in the concussion protocol. He's not ready.
Bro, that is crazy. That must have been a hell of a concussion, dude. I don't know if he's going to be able to come back. A concussion to last that long, Larry. He got his bell fucking rung, dude, like the Liberty Bell. Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. It seems kind of weird. We have this one. I'm tired of Pearsall uncertainty. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
Let's finish with Pearsall before we hit our supers and bolt for the door. Ricky Pearsall is a good dude. I'm rooting for him to get back. Demarcus Robinson stepped into his spot. Do the Niners need Pearsall, or does Robinson give them enough of a downfield threat? I asked that question because if you look at Demarcus Robinson's football card, Raj, you just study his stats, his career, he's been a guy that is a little bit surprising. I mean, like, if you say Demarcus Robinson, you think, I'm going to look at his career stats.
Yeah, I'm pulling him up.
Yeah, you're talking about a guy who averages 12.1 yards per reception in his career.
Wow.
So that he's kind of a downfield guy. He had 7 touchdowns last year. He's played on some really good football teams in Kansas City, Baltimore, the Rams, and now the Niners. I don't know. I mean, I like what I saw from him. I think there's something really game about Demarcus Robinson. But let's talk Ricky Pearsall. Do you think Ricky's coming back Saturday night? How badly or how vitally important is it for Ricky to come back for the Niners? We
need that. We need him. Like, listen, I like Robinson. He had his legacy game, 6 catches, 111 yards. He's been slowly getting integrated into the offense, but he's 31. You need some speed, Larry. This is a great defense, fast defense. You need a Ricky Pearsall, even if he doesn't get a lot of usage, just to have him out there as a decoy and the threat of his ability. When he's healthy, man, the guy is a great player. That's the problem, is when we have to say that. If he's healthy, the guy can run a route. He is fast. You remember week 1 when the Niners played Seattle? This guy was the X factor. He was just all over the field, making big catches. He had some big time deep passes. He had who was their cornerback that he had? I can't remember. It was Tariq Woolen. he had him running for his life. He was making that man look silly. They need Ricky Pearsall, man. But unfortunately, I just don't know if he can rely on him. PCL injury, he re-aggravated it. He's had that injury twice. I know a lot of people are going to call him glass. I mean, it's just an unfortunate injury, man. That's one of those tough, nagging ones, pain tolerance. And if you go out there again and try to play through the PCL, you could probably tear it, and that's not what you want. So you got to be smart. I like Ricky, but I'm going to say chances of him playing this weekend are like 40%. It is nice that he came back this week, but he's missed several weeks. Every time he's had the PCL, it's been a lot, and I don't think we're going to have him out there, but they can use him.
Before we hit the supers, give me what you think is the biggest key for the game this weekend. Because for me, I'll say it's third down. The Niners held the Eagles to 5 for 16 on third downs. And I think and Brock Purdy started to play really well on third down. I like the Niners to win the game. I'm like you. I'm very confident of it. But I know it's not going to be an easy game. I know it's going to be, I know it's going to be a very difficult game. But I like Brock Purdy to play well. I think the 49ers are better on third down, the money down, both offensively and defensively than they were earlier in the year. I like the Niners to win on third down and win the game because of it.
That's big. You win on third down, you have a good chance of winning. Mine, it's simple, Larry. You got to win the turnover battle. You cannot lose the turnover battle to this team. They got a great defense, opportunistic, and they can score. They're going to be at home. It's going to be a raucous, a tough environment. If you can win the turnover battle, you take the crowd out, and that's what you need to do. Is you need to neutralize the crowd, get the momentum, silence them, and that's what you need to do. You need to silence the crowd, and it starts with getting the turnovers. You got to win that battle, and I hope the Niners come out quick, fast, score early, and get a turnover. If they can score early, capitalize on a turnover, and then build off that, they can win this game.
All right, let's hit our supers, and we appreciate all you guys. We should tell you we're brought to you by Habbas Law. Thanks to Habbas Law for being a proud sponsor of the Krug Show. Let's get our Habbas Law wrap up there. There we go. And we'll take down the comment for just a second. Thanks to Habbas Law for being a proud sponsor of the Krug Show. 1-800-INJURED. They will fight to make it right. Big fans of Habbas Law. If you ever, if you get into a tough pickle and you need a good attorney, Habbas Law. If you've been injured and you want to win, there's only one call to make. HabbasLaw.com. Habbas Law. They will fight to make it right. 1-800-INJURED. HabbasLaw.com on the web. Thanks to Habbas Law for being a proud sponsor of the Krug Show. All right, we've got about almost 2,400 people hanging out watching the show tonight. We appreciate all of you guys. If you would at this point, do us a favor, and I'll take a second and hit like and subscribe. We would appreciate it. If you hit like, that just helps more people find the show and find the stream and the algorithm that YouTube has. And if you hit subscribe, just anytime we go live, you'll get a little little alert to join the show, and so you don't have to miss a minute of the Krug Show. All right, let's hit it right here. We got this one from, what's that say? Sea Cave. We should have went all in at the trade deadline. I mean, I said that many, many times, but I will say this: Jalen Phillips got dominated by Colton McKivitz. I thought McKivitz did a nice job on Jalen Phillips. It's not that the 49ers, it was like, for who? That was the question. And for what exactly? Who did you want them to get at the trade deadline? Phillips would have been really nice. I do think that they hedged because I don't know how I don't think they knew exactly what Brock was going to return as. And I think they were doubting what kind of team they had with no Warner, no Bosa. And they also feel like they've got some older players and they need to re-churn out their roster and they need their day 2 picks badly. So I understand why they didn't, but it wasn't like a 3rd-round pick or nothing. It's like, be aggressive. I would have been more aggressive poaching practice squad players. But you know what? That's me. And maybe they just didn't feel like that was the fit. You can't really fault them for Kendricks or Wallow now, can you? Marlon says, F you, Larry. Also, happy birthday. You always put on a great stream. Thank you for all that you do. Go Niners. Thank you, Marlon. No, not in my house. What's up with Purdy not hearing the calls through his helmet at certain points of the game and being forced to waste a timeout or a penalty? Will they address that? That is the technology within the game. It does seem kind of like it's almost stadium to stadium. But and you wonder about those kinds of things. I thought they burned a timeout because Bourne couldn't get lined up right.
Yeah.
That was one of them.
That was bad.
But yeah, that needs to be investigated. And there have been examples, by the way, of other teams that have kind of played games through time with that. Is the helmet working? I think Bill Parcells blamed Bill Walsh, I think, for the New York Giants headsets not working at Candlestick one year. So it's not the first time that this has been brought up for sure. We got this one from Alexander McDonald. Larry, it's Trader Joe's. Hit Trader Joe's. Grab 3 bottles, pressed green juice. Drink half a bottle each day. Boost your immune system tenfold. Kick this thing. Tastes like shit, but it works. It's on the Much Love LD Roll Red. Okay.
Use that. He wants you to go buy cold pressed green juice at Trader Joe's and drink it, and your sinus problems will go away, Larry.
Yeah, seriously. I know I always sound awful, but it really is it's just all right here. And you're right. I gotta go see it.
Go do it. Go if it works, then we're good, baby.
3 bottles cold pressed green juice. God, that sounds awful.
It does.
Doesn't it? That sounds just like ass. Excuse me. Do you have something that's terrible? Yes, we do.
It'll be, I used to say that to my daughter. I said, look, here's some medicine. And she'd always say, it tastes good. I said, no, the worse that it tastes, the better you're going to feel. That's how I feel medicine. If Seriously. It tastes like crap, you're going to feel better.
616 is Darnold's last 5 games, 3 touchdowns, 3 picks, 1 fumble. Oh, come on. Wow. Sam Darnold is, one of the reasons that Seattle's going to lose. Niners forever. Very interesting offseason coming up with all the head coach gigs coming up. Personally, I think Saleh is gone if we win everything. Oh, yeah. He's going to get lots of offers.
Obviously. I mean, just based off this wild card win, what he did with this defense, ragtag defense, he's their team. Oh, my God. He's going to get a lot of money, Larry.
Oh, I mean, if I was him, I would make sure that I got at least 5 years. At least 5 years. Or get, even if they don't give you 5 years, get paid off for big money for a couple of years. Niner Mafia says, cool. What does it say?
I think he meant to say cool stat about Purdy.
Yeah. Okay. It says Cook stat. Cool stat about Purdy. He has more fourth quarter winning drives and in overtime than Montana per Rich Eisen. Wow. Yeah. He's like, I just saw it. It's like Mahomes is 7 and he's at 4.
It's crazy.
So that's pretty crazy. That's pretty amazing. Kyle Pitts. We got this one from Niner Forever. Kyle Pitts and a second rounder for Mac Jones. Kyle Pitts is a free agent.
Yeah, you know what? With George Kittle probably going to miss next year, I'd take Kyle Pitts to the now. Oh my God,
Kyle Pitts in this offense would be amazing. Worst gen before CMC pick week 18, we had a chance. It was 13. Would have been 13-10. Yeah, no doubt. They made the big plays in the key moments in that game. Right. Niner forever. Biggest question going forward is Ricky Glass Pearsall playing? If Fred plays and Ricky doesn't, trade his ass. We shall see. Worst Jen said also, Tommy, what the F? I guess Philly weather makes you nuts. Yeah. How about this one from Mike Kazarian? How about the CMC catch on the opening drive? Oh my God, he saved Brock's bacon on that one. That ball was just floating in the middle of the air.
Yeah.
CMC's amazing.
Too good, dude. Like I said, we take him for granted.
We do.
He's so good.
I asked, one of the things we talked about in July, I'm like, what's the number one thing I want for the Niners? I want to get to the playoffs with a healthy CMC. Well, all these other guys are hurt, but we're here in the playoffs, or they're there in the playoffs, and you know what? He's healthy. So,
he's sacrificing his. You've heard the theory that CMC staying healthy is because he's sacrificing his teammates, and he's the one that's healthy. Everybody wrote him off this year. They said he's going to get hurt. He's washed up. He's the superstar that's healthy. It's crazy. Knock on wood, he stays healthy.
Silent says Siegel, Green, Kendrick, Trent, and Ricky matter. W.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. JC signed 25-year-old tight end Likely. I like him. Have him in Tonjes. And when George returns, even if he comes down a notch as a receiver, he will always be an elite blocker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
It's good.
I like that one. Blood Moon says, tell us more about Ricky Pearsall being traded in the offseason. Well, somebody in the Niner press box or in the press box from the Niners that I talked to said, and this is not like, it's not Lynch or anything, but people that are around the team and know what's going on said, don't be surprised in the offseason if Ricky is
really. Is that an inside scoop thing you got?
I don't know if it's inside scoop, but I mean, somebody that it works in the organization told me that, and he also mentioned Renardo Green as a guy.
First source, Renardo Green?
Yeah.
First source? Damn.
Yeah. So, I mean, I won't say this. It wasn't a front office source, but it was somebody that should be in the know.
Look at that, Larry. Per source.
Mike Kazarian, sorry your bag got taken. Here's $1.99. Go fund Krug. Yeah, I lost my Brunt boots, which were pretty sweet, and some clothes, but nothing else. Just like a couple toiletries. But still, hey, welcome to Philly. Here we go. We got this one. Oh, wait, we got that one again. We got this one from Dr. Rockman. I remember the Xmas game. Shannon Sharp said Brock Purdy showed him something special because he never stopped trying to rip it. People focus on his flaws, so they never saw his strengths. Crazy intangibles.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, this just in. Brock Purdy's damn good. And if you don't know it, if you don't know, now you know. JT broke. Mac Jones to Vegas for Jackson Powers Johnson and a 3rd-round pick is good in my book. I like that trade too, as long as he doesn't have concussion problems. Jackson,
I would hate to send Mac to the Raiders, but it is what it is.
Yeah, seriously. Well, here's the question: would Tom Brady, who's going to be calling the shots there, does he want Mac Jones?
Maybe.
He might not.
I think he'd like Mac Jones. He knows how to. Mac is good, man. I think that's the thing, and I know a lot of people don't want to lose Mac, but we said earlier, you trade Mac Jones, Kyle Shanahan's just going to get the next quarterback he's going to fit. Look, we're playing Sam Darnold this weekend. The Niners basically put him in position to where he's at. If he didn't come to the Niners, there's no way he would be where he's at. Like, he went to the Vikings last year, revitalized his career, and then he signed a major contract with the Seahawks. He could take the Niners. Mac Jones is about to do that soon, and whoever the next guy is, they can take the Niners, man.
We got this one from Mark. He says, you guys think the Niners refurbished defense will have a larger impact than 2 weeks ago? Sea chickens, I'll say, are in for a surprise. I do. Yeah. I actually think this defense can be quite a bit better than they were a couple weeks ago. I think they'll definitely stop the run better than they stopped it a couple weeks ago.
Kendrick
I mean, Kendricks alone would help. But Siegel, I think, is an upgrade too because he's fresh. And he's been watching, and he got experience early. Niner Mafia, what do you think of Warner and Kendrick's tandem next year? We'll see.
I like it. It's going to be like the second coming of Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman, baby.
I'm hoping Nick Martin is a big player next year. We got this one. I mean, give me my wishes. Vin Wynn says, I just heard they signed that pass rusher released by the Texans.
No.
Darrell Taylor?
No, we would have been buzzing. Our phones would have been going crazy. There's no way.
If Raj has not reported it, it has not happened.
Well, I've been here, so.
Can you do a quick search?
I don't see the update. No, my phone would have been going crazy.
I would definitely sign Darrell Taylor, though. Why? Because I think they're going to play. They might play the Texans, the Bears, and the Seahawks, and those are his ex-teams. You know what? Why not? I'd sign him. I like Darrell Taylor more than I like Robert Beal. I'll say that. I don't know if the Niners would do that. It would be risky, but I would do it. Frank Tom Ocean, Legend Raj, LK. Thanks for all your hard work. Thank you, bro. Thank you. What does that say? Riz the Fizz, Raj.
Riz Fizz, baby.
Such a cutie. Oh gosh.
Oh,
there you go. Thank you. I think. Z times 7. Chase Lucas was close to an interception last game. Play him. He was hurt, wasn't he?
No,
or he was inactive. He was inactive.
Upton Stout is maybe he's talking about Upton Stout. Stout's that guy. He's that guy.
I mean, Upton Stout is amazing.
He's that guy.
We have this one from Ian Sharp. Stout will be a better player than Lenore. He's got more athleticism. He's more explosive. He's more violent. Stout is a better talent. There's no doubt. But he's small. But I mean, you also got to give Lenore his because I mean, Lenore has established himself. He's making a lot of money. He's got a nice career going. I agree with this, by the way. Do you?
Yeah, I think he's going to be honestly his trajectory because this guy plays with so much heart, man. Like he's just scrappy. I think he's going to be he's probably going to be like the best nickel corner in the league. I can see it. Like you remember when K'Wan Williams was here, and you know that's the guy. He said he studied K'Wan Williams on this defense before he came in. Like he's smart, man. He wants it. You could tell the energy when he got drafted. That video where they called him his draft call. Just from that moment, you knew he's going to be a special player.
Let's do this.
Let's do it. Let's do it, coach. Let's do it, coach. He's got energy, man. He's got some energy, and you can't teach that energy. I like Lenore, but I think that's a fair statement that he's going to be better than Lenore career-wise. Lenore's good. Yeah.
Yeah, they're both good, but I mean, this guy's great.
Yeah,
Blood Moon, Nick Martin with a concussion for 2 months. Very odd. Yeah, I don't know if I believe that, to be completely honest. We'll see. I don't know what's going on there. There's obviously a backstory going on there. Titus Moeller, what's up, Titus? If you control San Francisco's wide receiver lineup, what would it be? If I controlled it, what would it be? Well, JJ. I mean, like anybody in the league, or just like based on what they have. I mean, I get no problem with any of their guys. I just would play Jordan Watkins. I like Jordan Watkins. I think Jordan Watkins is a player. And I don't think Jordan Watkins is a player. I know Jordan Watkins is a player.
Gonna be good.
He's going to be really good. And when people see when he gets it rolling, I think people are going to be like, why didn't he get it rolling sooner?
I know.
I think he's that good, but we'll see. I've been wrong before, but I don't think so. We got this one from, what does it say? Beating fans times 4, or boating fans times 4.
Boxing fan.
Was he? Oh, boxing fans.
He comments all the time.
I'm not seeing that. For some reason, I'm not seeing it on the yellow. Has Kyle gone into detail at all about why Watkins doesn't play? Because when Saleh was asked about Martin playing time, he said something about others contributing to special teams, but Sky has been good on special teams, but hardly plays. I mean, I think I've never asked Kyle any details about why Watkins hasn't played. It just he has said he's on record as saying he will play when he's better than the other guys in practice.
Yeah, he did say that. Yeah.
So obviously he's not doing it yet, but you know what? Some guys mature in a year. Sometimes it takes a year. That's why it's hard to bank on a ton of rookies, because some guys are good immediately. Some guys are good in the second half of the year. Some guys are good in year 2. Some guys are good in year 3. You got to give them time to develop. Kid Trickster, how we not talking Willie Pounder? Yes, pick him up now. Willie Pounder. Oh, I got it. Willie Pounder.
It's Kid Trickster, man. He's
Kid Trickster. Kid Trickster.
You got
happy birthday to Grant Cohn. You're lazy, Larry.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. I think I'm on the 12th, and I know I'm on the 12th, and I think he's today. I think he's.
Wow, you guys have a day separated, huh?
Well, one day separated.
Wow.
How about that?
How old is he?
He's also I have no idea. He's probably 39, something, 36.
Okay.
28? I don't know. No, he's younger. B.A. Castillo. Larry, funniest analogy you said is Shanahan playing with his Christian McCaffrey doll too much. Needs to add in his Robinson doll.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seriously.
CMC doll. He's brushing the hair.
I thought Robinson would get way more carries this year than he's gotten. Niner Mafia. Larry, Tommy said he likes your boots before you mentioned them. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Weird,
that was a little weird. We will be studying this chat and sending it to the proper authorities.
Yeah, FBI.
Yeah. Something tells me we're going to find my boots at the end of this chat.
I think so.
We got this one from Brad. He says, remember the touchdown play to Kittle in Seattle in Purdy's rookie year? Pumped left, pumped right, Kittle down the middle. That play is coming back this weekend to Tonjes as a nod to Kittle. Ooh.
Can you imagine? That play was so dirty.
I love that.
Play was
this
nice.
Way, fake that way, down the middle. It separated the.
Yeah, the pump was so filthy, man. That's what sold it. He pumped so good. Yeah. That pump fake Purdy that night was insane, dude.
Riz says, or was it? Yeah, Riz.
Riz the Fizz.
Hey, Krug, love y'all. Love listening to y'all on the way to Dianza. All right. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. The A-Cup, win or lose, your YouTubers, our YouTubers are the best in the league. Oh, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. Does Seattle even have YouTubers? Frank Tom Ocean, how many chats to keep you guys going another hour? Come on, man. Raj, we got things to do. We got 2,500 people in the room, though. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle. Thanks to Habbas Law. Thanks to Sleeper. Raj, I'll give you the final thought of the night before we bolt for the door.
Final thought of the night. If the 49ers defeat Seattle on Saturday, Larry, Fred Warner is coming back and we're making a run to Levi's. Just think about it. Think about it, baby. Beat Seattle and Fred Warner comes back. That's incredible. Oh, my God.
Here's what I'll say. Final thought before we get out of here. If Brock Purdy and Sam Darnold played 10 times of anything, golf, anything, I think Brock would probably win 7 of the 10 across the board. I like Brock Purdy to beat out Sam Darnold and be the difference in the game. Titus Moeller says, I remember a couple of years ago when you mentioned sharing enthusiasm with Kalia Davis about his potential. What's your analysis of his play this year? I love him. I think Kalia's come into his own. He's stayed healthy for the most part. He can make a play in the backfield. Is he a star? No. But I think he's going to play a whole lot better when he's in a better rotation. And I think we already saw that. I think he's surprised me in a positive way. Jordan Elliott has surprised me in a positive way. I got to admit, I think Chris Kasarik, Raj, has gotten every bit of talent out of every guy in his room.
Yeah.
There's not one guy in that room that I think like, you know what? Yeah. But I mean, look at the way these guys are played recently. They're all playing pretty well. Cleve Farrell playing well. Keon White playing well. Kalia Davis playing well. Alfred Collins and CJ West, every game that goes by, they get better and better and better. So I like what I'm seeing as far as the development all season long.
They're grinders, man. They're just grinders on that team. Like, again, you can call it no-name defense, but at the end of the day, man, they're getting the job done. Like this might be like one of my favorite teams I've ever watched. Like, I know that we're banged up and it's like, wow, holy crap. But this team, they're so resilient. You just don't know what you're going to get every week. It's incredible to see this team fight every week, and they have a chance to do, what they got to do. And again, I don't want to throw it out. I don't want to jinx it, but if they win a Super Bowl, can you imagine this team winning a Super Bowl with no Bosa, no Kittle? Like, what a squad, man. It's a good team.
There have been better. I mean, here's the thing. Sometimes you win when it's your best team, but you know what? There have been better teams than this Niner team.
Yeah.
And maybe even better teams under Shanahan and Lynch.
Yeah.
But you know what? This group is probably the grittiest. This is probably the grittiest group they've had. I think this is the toughest group. Also, here's the thing about this, and you know this, Raj. When you've already died it's hard to be afraid to die.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean?
They got nothing to lose.
They got nothing to lose.
And that's why the Niners are playing so good. Look, you lose both. You lose Warner. You lose Kittle. You lose Purdy. You lose all these players.
You're playing with the house's money.
Stabbed in the chest 20 times this season. It's like, okay, who cares? They got
keep going.
Nobody thinks that you're going to win with Jake Tonjes. Listen, Brock Purdy had DeMarcus Robinson as wide receiver 1. Kyle Juszczyk had 4 catches this game, and he's winning games, man. Any other team, they're not doing it. This team's amazing, man.
Last thought. There was a lot of talk that Brock Purdy was elevated by Shanahan. And I think there's some truth in it. There was also a lot of talk that Brock Purdy was elevated by his weapons. But I think over time what we're seeing is that Brock Purdy has been elevated by Shanahan, but Shanahan's also been elevated by Brock Purdy.
Yes.
And what we've also seen is that those weapons, they didn't make Brock Purdy at all.
He elevates them. Look,
made them.
He makes them.
Yes.
Yeah.
He can do it with Tonjes. He can do it, with the weapon. If Kyle Shanahan said, "Hey Krug, you want to come talk to the team?" What I would say to the team is, "There's enough talent in this room to win. So let's just go, let it all hang out." What I loved about the Philly game is part of winning on the road is you got to let it all hang out. You can't be conservative. And for Shanahan to go to the Jennings pass to CMC was exactly what I wanted to see, because it tells me that he understands who they are, where they are, and that you got to let it all hang out. And when you have Brock Purdy, Kyle Shanahan, Robert Saleh, and this much talent, young and old, the Niners are a mix of some of the NFL's best older players and then a lot of really young players. And that mix right now, I'm telling you, man, I'm in that room. I don't BS my audience. I do not BS you, Raj. I don't BS anybody. I tell you the truth. There's a special vibe about this thing this year. Are they great? No. But the vibe in their room is we can do this. And as the more games they win, I think the more dangerous they become. We're seeing they've got 2 quarterbacks. They've got an offensive. We even talked about the offensive line. Philly in their vaunted front, 1 sack. The Niners and Eagles both had 1 sack. The O-line, the depth of the weapons. Kittle went down, but you got a Tonjes. Pearsall's down, but you got a DeMarcus Robinson. There's great quality in their depth. They found some middle of the field defenders who are healthier. Upton Stout's playing his ass off, and every guy on their front line is giving you everything they got.
Yeah.
You got a great field goal kicker. You're good on special teams. You're stopping the run in the second half of the last game. There's magic. There's a little magic.
It's amazing. It is magic, and it's just fun to watch, man. Like, it's just crazy. Like, this every win, it just feels like, wow, how is this team winning? And every week, you have all these, all the PDs, the media people, like Field Yates, and they're tweeting out, no Warner, no Kittle, no this, no this. It's like you see that every week, and it's like, okay, doesn't matter who we have or who we don't have, we're gonna just go out there and play. And you're right. When you start winning like that, Larry, it's addicting. You're like, oh, we could do this again. Okay, it's just football players. They're out there playing football, man. They're getting paid. They go out there, and they don't need superstars. They're confident, and they're coaching, man. Like Kyle Shanahan, he's coach of the year this year. Nobody else in this league is going to be able to do what Kyle Shanahan. If the other teams lost, like their starting quarterback for multiple weeks, like shout out to Mac Jones for coming in. They lose their wide receiver 1. Their wide receiver 1 doesn't even show up this season. Like, imagine if Jamar Chase didn't show up to the Bengals this year. Like, holy crap, their offense would be anemic. Niners they figure it out, man. It's amazing. It's
amazing. Last one, Luke, ZX7, whatever. Lucas was not on the injury report this week. He can pick off Darnold. He almost got one last game versus Seattle. Did see him with wagging finger, or did I see him with the wagging finger? Love it. I love Chase Lucas, man. He's
I like Upton Stout better.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. Upton Stout is a star. Chase Lucas, though, is a really solid
player.
backup.
I like him.
He's scrappy. That's a good call.
Yeah, I like him.
All right. We're scrappy as well. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks to our sponsors. Thanks to Raj. Peace.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful.